Hello guys, this is me, Bradley Prater, and welcome to another review of a somewhat interesting game. Not sure how I feel about it, to be honest. I don't know if I'm going to rate it yet because it is early access, but this game is called House Builder. Made by the same people that have developed House Flipper. The name of the studio is called Playway. So we know that they make lots of simulation games. They've made House Flipper, Car Mechanic Simulator, all of the car mechanic simulators. I'm a huge fan of all those games. I love playing House Flipper. I love playing Car Mechanic Simulator. I've played some of their other games. There's one that's I don't have quite in my mind right now, but it's one of my favorite ones. Give me 1 second. Let me see what it is. One of their other games is called Gas Station Simulator. That's not the game that I'm thinking of, but I really just can't remember it right now. I'll have to figure it out another time. I'll be looking for it while I'm doing this review. Aside from that, House Builder. So, it's in early access, like I said. It's one of my least favorite Playway games, to be honest. It feels like it's got lots of detail and stuff like that, but you're doing lots of really boring tasks over and over again to build houses. Now granted, I'm only a few houses into the game. The reason why I stopped playing is because I got stuck on a house and I don't know how to finish it. There's way too many things that pop up that I don't really know what stuff to put where and what I need to do for what thing and what tool to use for what. So that's something on me, of course. That's definitely nothing on them. But as of right now, the game's okay. I don't really know what else to say about that other than the fact of the matter that it's mediocre at best. There are some pretty cool maps. It's got somewhat of a free roam aspect to it, so you have to go around and gather your own resources, take care of the stuff that you need to take care of. You don't get help from anybody. You don't have to buy resources like you do in House Flipper. There really isn't any money involved. There's like a skill point based system. I don't really know how it works, but I think it's like an intelligent based system or something like that, and you use your intelligence to build other houses. And you build houses all over the world. So the last house that I stopped on was the Japanese house. So I had built like, I think 3 or 4 houses before I got to the little Japanese house on the mountainside. And to be honest, the Japanese house had the prettiest map in the entire game. Absolutely beautiful. One of my favorite houses so far to build was the log cabin, and I liked building the igloo too because it's pretty straightforward and it was just really fun to build. I've never built an igloo. I actually don't know how they build igloos, so it kind of gives me a little bit of thought into how igloos are made, but I still don't really know how that works. With me briefly mentioning the graphics, I think that the graphics are pretty good in the game. The use of tools, okay, so the use of tools is really cool. I think that's probably one of the most promising aspects of the game. Like if you cut down a tree and you're building a specific building, you actually have to physically scrape the bark off of the logs, and you have to measure everything and cut it to a precise measurement. The game has a really weird skill tree setup where there's tons of skills that help you build houses faster the further you go through the game. Not 100% sure how far the game goes on. Every week or two they end up updating the game and adding something new, which is pretty awesome. That's pretty nice. I think that's a good feature to have, and I'm glad that they're continuously updating the game and making it better for what it is. Right now, at this moment in time, in Steam, it has crazily overwhelming positive reviews. And my review for this is probably going to be mediocre. It's going to be in between. I'm going to be like really in between with this game because I enjoy it. I enjoyed doing the first few houses, but also it feels like it's a little mind-numbing when you get into it. So I guess you could say that you play the game to escape. It's a good game to escape a bad day too. You can just sit down, relax, listen to some good music, and build a house, which it's okay. I didn't really expect it to be that though. The controls are a little weird. Navigating menus and putting items down sometimes on the keyboard it feels like one key should be another key, and then that key should be the other key as well. So like it confuses me a little bit, but that's not really a big of a deal. It's still relatively like somewhat simple to play. It's not overkill with the controls. It's not super duper simulation based, but it's simulation enough to where you really feel like you're building a house. You know, you're not just clicking a couple of buttons to have it just poof show up in front of you like some games are. It's not like it's The Sims. Like, you actually physically have to put drywall up and lay down flooring and put a physical foundation down on the ground and use the tools that you need to create the entire building, that is a huge promising factor for the game. If this game was multiplayer, that would be awesome. That would be something really cool, to have a co-op 2 to 3 player where you guys load into a single map and you pick a side, or you start doing simple tasks back and forth and talking to each other and stuff and implementing a way to build this house so you can build it faster. That would be an interesting concept for the game. On a rating of 1 to 10, how would I rate this game right now? I would say probably it's a 6 to a 7. I'm not 100% positive right now. It's good enough to be enjoyable. It's good enough to be enjoyable to play, but I don't think it's good enough for me to play for a long time. I've only dumped like 4 hours into the game, and I feel like I've seen everything that I have. And that's probably not the truth. It just feels like it takes way too long to finish the houses at times, even though you finish the houses within an hour or two, which isn't very bad. On terms of good things about the game, I just want to be 100% honest. You can actually see your feet when you look down at the ground. I think that's awesome. You don't ever play games anymore where you can actually see your feet at the ground unless it's something really wacky, or if you're playing DayZ or something. Aside from that, this review is pretty short. I'm probably going to add a second interview later on down the road, just so that we can get more of a foundation base, figure out really what this game can be in the future when you get further into the game. Right now, I am somewhat impressed, somewhat not impressed. It's definitely a game that nobody has ever made before, so 100% props to you for doing that at least. This is Bradley Prater. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have anything to comment about, please leave a comment below and subscribe, and I'll give you guys another shout out when I end up uploading another video. This is the end of the video, and you guys have a wonderful day. Bye bye.